All right, Governor.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for talking with us. Hey, you seemed a little more assertive, aggressive in tonight's debate. How do you think you handled yourself?
Well, obviously, I wasn't 24 hours off of having my Achilles rupture explode in my calf. Everybody saw the video of Aaron Rodgers when that happened to him. But obviously, feeling a lot better tonight, and I feel like we've fought hard to get our message out and really tell the North Dakota story, because it doesn't matter what the topic is: energy, agriculture, whether it's what we're doing innovation in schools, what we're doing in healthcare in North Dakota. We've got a story to tell the whole nation, and I just say on behalf of myself and the First Lady Catherine, we're honored to serve the state, but it's a big honor for us to be telling the North Dakota story to the entire nation.
And you were fighting to get attention for those energy questions. Do you think you should be getting more attention when they're talking about oil and tech and that?
Well, absolutely. It's ridiculous. You've got one sitting governor up there who actually is a governor of an energy state. We produce more energy than most OPEC nations, and no questions. There's one person on the stage who's created more jobs than everybody else on the stage combined, and they're talking about the economy. Don't get a question. Then they talk about technology and about TikTok in China, and I'm the only guy. In 1989, when I was a kid, starting that company in North Dakota with other people, I was in China, walked into a street market, and there was Great Plains software for $1 for a 5 1/4 inch floppy. We were selling it for $5,000 a module. So I've had software stolen, intellectual property from China in every company I've worked with since 1989. So then some other people have woken up in the last couple months that we're in a Cold War with China. I've been there. So of course I would say, let's understand who's got the experience on the stage to deal with these issues, and maybe they can get a question.
Yeah. Education, a big topic in tonight's debate. How do you think North Dakota students stack up to the rest of the country?
Well, it was fantastic just a couple weeks ago that it came out that we were at the top of the list for median SAT scores in the whole country, and I think it's a reflection of the collaboration we have in North Dakota. In North Dakota, we don't have the teachers union and the school boards and the administrators, all suing each other. We actually get together at something we created in our administration called the K-12 Coordinating Council, and we understand that the customer is the student, and we develop our plans around them. And with all the education freedom actions that we've passed in the last months, this is allowing every school to innovate. This is allowing us to take programs that we know, hands-on, real-world, team-based experience like 4-H, FFA, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, and students can get academic credit for that. And so I love the direction that education's going in North Dakota. We can certainly do more, but again, locally controlled. This is not a federal issue. This is we've got 170 plus school districts in North Dakota, 170 school boards. They all care. The parents care. They're engaged, and we're doing it right in North Dakota.
This is former President Reagan's library. Do you think the discussion tonight upheld his principles for the party?
I think Ronald Reagan would have been deeply concerned about some of the comments about that somehow America first means that we don't work with our allies, that somehow we can concede Ukraine to Russia, Taiwan to China, and this deal that we did with Iran recently is just completely ridiculous, where somehow, the first rule of national security, don't negotiate with terrorists, and that's what the Biden administration is doing, and they're actually, again, just like they circumvent the law on BLM Germany, just like they circumvent the law on the border where they're allowing millions and millions of people to cross illegally. They're also circumventing law because there was a law passed in 2015 which we can't do an Iran nuclear deal that will allow them get a nuclear weapon without the approval of Congress. But they call it a kidnap, trade-off, hostage trade. Well, they got 5 prisoners, we got 5 prisoners, but they also got $6 billion, which they can use to advance their terrorism. And this is the nation that is the largest sponsor of state terrorism in the world. What are we doing giving them money and then pushing our potential allies in the Middle East away?